Okay, you guys, we are going to read a book today about volcanoes. This is a National Geographic Kids book, and it is by Anne Schreiber. Really quick, before we start it, I want you to guess. Do you think that this is going to be a fiction book or a non-fiction book? Remember, fiction means it's fake or made up. Non-fiction means that it's not fake or that it's not made up. It's about real things. Did you say non-fiction? I hope so. Believe it or not, this is a picture of real lava. We know that when we see pictures of real things, that's usually a hint that it is a non-fiction book. Also, National Geographic is all about teaching people about different things in our world, different parts of our world. So this is a non-fiction book. Let's get started. Volcanoes by Anne Schreiber. Oh, here's another hint that it's a non-fiction book. It has a table of contents, and that means that it has a list of all the different parts of this book and the different things you can learn, and it tells you right next to it which page you can go to read about these different things. Lots of non-fiction books will have that. Mountains of fire. Ash and steam pour out of the mountain. Hot, melted rock rises up inside the mountain. Suddenly, a spray of glowing hot ash shoots out. It is an eruption. More melted rock is forced out. It spills down the side of the volcano in a burning hot river. Anything that cannot move is burned or buried. Okay, down here it has a word blast. We just learned a new word, eruption. Eruption is when magma reaches the Earth's surface. Some eruptions are explosive. And this right here, it's a caption. It tells us this is the Kimanura volcano in Zaire. Hot rocks. When magma comes out of the earth, it is called lava. The lava hardens. Ash and rock pile up. A volcano is born. So here are some labels, you guys. We learned about labels, and that's another hint that this is a non-fiction book because it's teaching us about the different parts of a volcano. So this is the volcano here, and then it's pretending like you took a big slice and cut it in half so you could see the inside. So down here, there's an arrow pointing at all this hot stuff down here. This is the magma chamber. When lava is inside the volcano still, or under the volcano in the ground, it's called magma. And then when it comes out of the top of the volcano, that's when we call it lava. Okay, the very top of the volcano, where the ash and where the lava comes out is called a vent. Oh, and I noticed it starts with the letter of the week, vent. Okay, the last part here is ash. What comes out of the top of a volcano looks like smoke or maybe steam, but really it's ash. Okay, deep beneath the Earth's surface, it is hot enough to melt rock. When rock melts, it becomes a thick liquid called magma. Sometimes it puddles together in a magma chamber, like we just saw. Sometimes it finds cracks to travel through. If magma travels through a crack to the surface, the place it comes out is called a, do you remember? Vent. So we learned a lot of new words. Magma is thick, melted rock. Magma chamber is the space deep underground filled with melted rock. Vent is any opening in the Earth's surface where volcanic materials come out. Shaky plates. Where do cracks and vents in the Earth come from? The land we live on is broken into pieces called plates. The plates fit Earth like a puzzle. They are always moving a few inches each year. When plates pull apart or smash together, watch out. This picture shows the gap that forms when plates pull apart. This is in Iceland. So you can see there's a big crack that goes all the way across. That's two different plates that are starting to separate and pull together. And this is a map or a picture of the globe of our Earth. That's another picture that's another hint that this is a nonfiction book, right? We see maps sometimes in these. So this is the Earth, and it's showing you where all the different plates are. Remember, plates are like the puzzle pieces of Earth and ground that fit together on our planet. So all these purple lines kind of show you where the different plates are. It says, one place where Earth's plates smash together is called the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Hey, we learned about that when we did our U week underwater, right? Remember we learned that on the bottom of the ocean is this big ridge? Now we know that's because there are two plates that come together right under there. It is the longest mountain range on Earth, and most of it is underwater. An island is born. What happens when two plates pull apart? They make a giant crack in the Earth. Magma can rise up through these cracks. This even happens underwater. It's a very brave scuba diver. It says about 60 million years ago, an underwater volcano poured out so much lava it made new land. A huge island grew right out of the middle of the ocean. Lava formed the country of Iceland. About 50 years ago, people saw smoke coming out of the ocean near Iceland. A new island was being born right before their eyes. They called it Surtsey after the Norse god of fire. So here's a picture of Surtsey, the island being born. Ooh, more maps. I love maps. This is the Ring of Fire. What happens when plates bump into each other? Maybe a mountain will be pushed a little higher. Maybe a volcano will erupt. There may be an earthquake or a tsunami or both. The edge of the Pacific plate is grinding into the plates around it. This area is called the Ring of Fire. Many of Earth's earthquakes and volcanoes happen in the Ring of Fire. So on this map you can see the purple lines. The purple lines show where the plates are. And then all the little red dots are volcanoes. And you see mountains and all that. The orange part here is what they call the Ring of Fire, because there's a lot of different plates that touch each other in this area. And so that's areas where you see lots of volcanoes and even earthquakes happen. Postcards from the ring. It says, I lava you. This is in Indonesia. Moose you very much. From Kamchatka. Washing you a great day. From Cascade Mountains in Washington State. That's in America. And having a hot time in the Andes. This is from Ecuador. Volcanoes from all around the world. Meet a volcano, or three. Not all volcanoes are the same. What kind they are depends on how they erupt. The lava from a shield volcano is hot and liquid. Rivers of lava flow from the volcano's vents. These lava flows create a gently sloping volcano. The Hawaiian myth of Pele tells the story of how Pele, goddess of earth and fire, built a home on Mauna Loa. That was the end of the sentence. Mauna Loa. Violent volcanic eruptions are said to be Pele losing her temper. So this is the one they were just talking about. A cone volcano has straight sides and tall, steep slopes. These volcanoes have beautiful eruptions. Hot ash and rocks shoot high into the air. Lava flows from the cone. One day, a cone volcano started erupting on a field in Mexico. It erupted for 9 years. When it stopped, it was almost as high as the Empire State Building. So this is probably what most of us think of when we think of volcanoes. It looks kind of like a mountain with the lava coming out of the top. A stratovolcano is like a layer cake. First, lava shoots out and coats the mountain. Then come rock and ash. Then more lava. The mountain builds up with layers of lava, rock, and ash. There's a myth about Vulcan, a Roman god of fire and iron. He lived under Vulcan Island near Mount Etna. Every time Vulcan pounded his hammer, a volcano erupted. The word volcano comes from the name Vulcan. Ooh, they both have some similar sounds. Do you hear that? Vulcan, volcano. Yeah, I can see it. Ooh, this is the true story of Crater Lake. Crater Lake may seem like a regular lake, but it is actually a stratovolcano. It was once a mountain called Mount Mazma. Now it is a deep, clear lake in Oregon. That's in the United States. An explosion over 6,000 years ago blew the top of Mount Mazma. Lava, dust, and ash swept down the mountain. The mountaintop fell in, and a giant caldera was formed. Over time, the caldera, a crater filled with water, is the deepest lake in the United States. So, word blast, we learned a new word, caldera. A caldera is formed when the top of a volcano caves in. Oh, and here's a little arrow. It says, after the mountain collapsed, there were more eruptions. In one, a small cinder cone of ash and lava was formed. This cinder cone pokes out of the lake. It's called Wizard Island. So there was almost like a little mini volcano inside of the caldera of the big volcano. Volcanoes Rock. This page shows different kinds of rock that are formed from different kinds of volcanoes and lava and magma. So, this one is Pahoehoe. It forms fast, hot liquid lava, hardens into smooth rope-like rocks. See how smooth it is? It hardens into beautiful and weird shapes known as lava sculptures. This kind is Aa. The crust on top of Aa lava hardens into sharp mounds of rocks. It can cut right through the bottom of your shoes. Wow, sounds sharp. This one is Pele. Lava fountains throw lava into the air where small bits stretch out and form glass threads. These strands of volcanic glass are super thin and long, just like hair. Small tear-shaped pieces of glass called Pele's tears sometimes form at the end of Pele's hair. And the last one is pumice. In a big explosion, molten rock can get filled with gas from the volcano. When the lava hardens, the gas is trapped inside. The gas makes the rock so light it can float on water. Most rocks don't do that, but pumice does. Volcanic record breakers. Indonesia, a string of islands in the Ring of Fire, has more erupting volcanoes than anywhere else on Earth. The place with the most volcanic activity is not on Earth. It is on Io, one of Jupiter's moons. In 1883, explosion of Krakatoa was the loudest sound in record time. People heard the explosion over 2,500 miles away. Anak Krakatoa, which means child of Krakatoa, is a volcano that was born in 1927 where Krakatoa used to be. Mount Etna is the largest active volcano in Europe. Ooh, hot spots. Do you want to visit somewhere really hot? Check out these hot spots, places on Earth where magma finds its way through the Earth's crust. Hot spots are heated by volcanic activity. It says the Hawaiian Islands are all volcanic mountains. They start on the sea floor and poke out above the sea. Kilauea in Hawaii is still erupting. As long as it keeps erupting, the island of Hawaii keeps growing. Did you guys know that Hawaii was formed by a bunch of volcanoes? On Kyushu Island in Japan, some people use the hot springs to boil their eggs. Wow. Take a bath with the monkeys in Japan. In Iceland, you can swim in pools heated by volcanoes. Exploding ending. If you visit Yellowstone National Park, you will be standing on one of the biggest supervolcanoes on Earth. Yellowstone sits on an ancient cauldron. Magma still bubbles and boils a few miles below ground. Yellowstone has lots of geysers, more than 300. The magma below Yellowstone cauldron heats the underground water. The water boils and bursts to the surface as geysers spring steam and hot water high into the air. Go to Yellowstone and see the Earth in action. Well, I'm going to add, if you get the chance to go to Yellowstone, do it after we're all allowed to go outside and do some traveling. I've been to Yellowstone, and it is a very cool place to see some volcanic action. Well, that's it for our book on volcanoes. You guys are going to get to make some volcanoes this week, so I look forward to hearing about that.